Juliet Toma is a director of communications at the United Nations Agency for Palestine Refugees. She's now joining us from Amman, Jordan. Welcome to the show, Juliet. Almost every child in the Gaza Strip has been exposed to deeply distressing events and trauma. UNICEF says child casualties in Gaza is a growing stain on our collective conscience. If hospitals and refugee camps where most of these vulnerable children are taking shelter is bombarded every day, then under what circumstances can they be spared?
Yes, well, indeed, like our Secretary General said, Gaza is becoming a graveyard for children. Every 10 minutes, one Palestinian child in Gaza, every 10 minutes, gets killed. The number of children reported killed is staggering. It's just staggering. According to Save the Children, this is the highest number of children killed in any single conflict since 2019.
Juliet, even if a ceasefire was to be announced now and the dust settles, who takes the blame? Who accounts for the lost generation?
So children have not been able to go to school for more than 1 month now. In our own UN schools, UNRWA schools, we were forced to close them down when the war started because we turned them into shelters, where we currently are hosting more than 700,000 people in these shelters. And many of them are, of course, children. They are being deprived of their education. But I think children are being deprived of their childhood. The childhood of Palestinian children in the Gaza Strip is being stripped of them.
Juliet, how can parents or even guardians in Gaza protect, guide, or even educate them about what's going on? What would be your advice to them?
I mean, parents, mothers, and fathers are in touch with us because they simply are colleagues who work with UNRWA. They are telling us they don't know what to say to their children. One colleague of ours says to us that he holds his children and he just says to them, this is going to be all right. It's going to be over soon, except it has been going on for 1 whole month, a very, very long month, very brutal for everyone across the Gaza Strip, including, but not only for children. We are at a stage where parents are so helpless, they cannot even reassure their children that it's going to be all right, because it has not been all right. It has not been all right for the 1 million children who live in the Gaza Strip.
Juliet, finally, what is your message to Israel?
Look, our message to the world, to the whole world, is that it is absolutely time. In fact, it's overdue that we have a humanitarian ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, that we have a humanitarian ceasefire across the board so that civilians, wherever they are protected. There's been so much grief since the 7th of October everywhere, so much loss, so much pain, so much bloodshed everywhere. It is time for that to come to an end for the sake of humanity, for our collective humanity.
All right, I've been talking to Juliet Toma, who's the Director of Communications at the United Nations Agency for Palestine Refugees. Juliet, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.